Hello, folks. This is an edition of my show, The Stuart Bell Show. I'm coming to you live from my house right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where the current temperature here in the city of Winnipeg is about 9 degrees with partly cloudy skies and relatively good visibility at 24 kilometers an hour. And then and the winds are out of the north northwest at 14 kilometers an hour, and we are supposed to have a few clouds and some fog patches developing after midnight and a low of -2. And again, for tomorrow, generally the same temperature, high of 9 degrees, increasing cloudiness in the morning, fog patches disappear in the morning. And it looks relatively nice temperature wise or weather wise, except for maybe Tuesday night and maybe during the day Wednesday where there's a chance of some showers, but that's not a big deal type of thing. What else? Now let's just get right into my show. As y'all probably do know, that Remembrance Day is fast approaching. Remembrance Day will be on Friday, November the 11th, and it marks the end of World War One, which was for you people that are on YouTube that may not know your history. World War One was called the Great War and was supposed to be the war to end all wars. But I'll explain to you guys what World War One is about and how it erupted in the first place. Uh, World War One was known as the First World War or the Great War. It was a global war originating in Europe that lasted from July 28th, 1914 to November 11th, 1918, when more than 70 million military personnel, including 60 million Europeans, were mobilized in one of the largest wars in history. Over 9 million combatants and over 9 million combatants and 7 million civilians died as a result of the war, including victims of number of genocides. A casualty rate was exacerbated by the belligerent technological and industrial suffocation. And sorry for the mispronunciation. Sometimes I, can't really, pronounce things properly. But anyways, and the tactical statement causing by a grueling trench warfare. In one of the most deadliest conflicts in history, it paved the way for major political changes, including revolutions in many of the nations involved. War drew in all the world's economic great powers assembled in two opposing alliances. The Allies based on the triple and I can't pronounce them anyways of the British Empire, France, and the Russian Empire versus the Central Powers of Germany and Austria-Hungary. Although Italy was a member of the Triple Alliance alongside Germany and Austria-Hungary, it did not join the Central Powers as Austria-Hungary had taken the offense against the terms of the alliance. The alliances were organized and expanded as more nations entered the war. Italy, Japan, the United States joined the Allies, while the Ottoman Empire and Bulgaria joined the Central Powers. The trigger for the war was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary by Yugoslav nationalist Gavro. I can't pronounce his name correctly, so not even gonna go there. But Anyways, in Sarajevo on June 28th, 1914, that this set off a diplomatic crisis when Austria-Hungary delivered an ultimatum to the Kingdom of Serbia and ignited international alliances formed over previous decades were invoked within weeks. The major powers were at war, and the conflict soon spread around the world. On on July 2020, the Austro-Hungarians declared war on Serbia as Russia mobilized in support of Serbia. Germany invaded neutral Belgium and Luxembourg before moving towards France, leading the United Kingdom to declare war on Germany. After the German march on Paris was halted, in which that became known as the Western Front, settled into a battle of attrition, with, with a trench line that changed a little that changed little until 1917. On the Eastern Front, the Russian army was successful against the Austro-Hungarians, but the Germans stopped its invasion of East Prussia in November 1914. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers, opening fronts in the Caucasus, Mesopotamia, and the Sinai. In, in 1915, Italy joined the Allies, and Bulgaria joined the Central Powers, and Romania joined the Allies in 1916, as did the United States in 1917. The Russian government, the bear with me for a sec. The Russian government collapsed in March 1917, and a revolution in November, followed by further military defeat, brought the Russians to terms with the Central Powers via the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Oh, I'm not even going to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to go there. Which granted the Germans a significant victory after a stunning German advance along the Western Front in the spring of 1918. The Allies rallied and drove back the Germans in a series of successful offensives. On November 4th, 1918, the Austro-Hungarian Empire agreed to an armistice, and Germany, which it has own troubles with revolutionaries, agreed to the armistice on November 11, 1918, ending the war in victory for the Allies. By the end of the wars, or soon after, the German Empire, the Russian Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire ceased to exist. The national borders were redrawn, and several independent nations restored or created. And Germany's colonies were parceled out among the winners during the Paris Peace Conference of 1919. The Big Four, Britain, France, the United States, and Italy, imposed their terms in a series of treaties. The League of Nations was formed with the aim of preventing any replenishing of such a conflict. This effort failed, and economic depression and renewed European nationalism weakened member states, and the German feeling that humiliation contributed to the rise of Nazism. These conditions eventually contribute to World War II. So, you can understand, for you people that are on YouTube, you'll kind of understand the general point of what I was talking about. World War One was it brought upon the new age, for the first time in history. Tanks were used, aircraft were used. There is chemical warfare for the first time in history, when the Germans used sulfurate mustard, which is basically AKA mustard gas, in other words, which was a chemical weapon that the Germans could produce in the vast quantities for military purposes. If you catch kind of what I'm saying. What else? Um, the strength total of the Allies during World War One was 42,959 and 42,959,000 and you get my point. Basically, over 42 million, and the main contributor to the military strength in in numbers like troops and equipment and so on and so forth were first the Russian Empire with 12 million troops, then the British Empire of over 8 million, and it goes gradually down the list. So about you could say about over 42 million Allied troops, and then the Central Powers, which, like I said before, consisted of the German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria, consisted of basically the numbers of troops. I'm just going to go down the list. The German Empire had 13,250,000 troops. The Austro-Hungarians had 7,800,000, and the Ottoman Empire had 2,998,000. Yeah, basically you kind of get the general point of what I'm saying. All these people were empires that were vying for control in Europe. And as a result of this, there was so much blood and carnage and all that, like on the Western Front, with this, static, trench warfare and this, battle of attrition between the Germans and the Allies and that. And it was just a never-ending cycle of like death upon death upon death upon death. You kind of get the general point of what I'm saying, type of thing. And that, but yeah. So for you people that are on YouTube, like I said, Remembrance Day is fast approaching, and this is a time. I think this is a time to reflect on those people that have fought and died for the various countries that during World War One, and and for me, such as my home country of Germany, even though I'm Canadian, and that I'm gearing up to pay tribute to those German troops who fought for the German Empire and basically stood their ground to the last man and the last bullet for Kaiser Wilhelm II. Which, if you people do not know your history, he was the last German emperor during World War One before he went into exile, and he died at some point. I think it was before World War Two or as World War Two started. I honestly can't remember. I think he was about 86 when he died in that. So yeah. So that's just one subject in my show today. Oh, what else? Here's another article. This is entitled Germans Leaving in Droves Aimed Fallout from Angela Merkel's Open Door Migrant Policy. Fed up Germans are leaving Germany in droves in the wake of Angela Merkel's Open Door Migrant Policy. And before I read you this article and that, I have nothing against migrants. I have nothing against people from other countries that are immigrating to like European countries such as Germany, Russia, other places like Canada, the United States, because there's two reasons why people would immigrate from their countries. It's in search, it's for financial reasons and a better life, for themselves and their families. I have, absolutely nothing against that, but you know, I'm just gonna take this opportunity to basically, before I read this article to you, that I don't, I don't, mind, my home country, Germany's leader, Chancellor Angela Merkel's open door migrant policy, but here's the thing, when this whole migrant, crisis started, like because there was so much of an influx of migrants, refugees, whatever you're like you call them, type of thing. They were just basically coming in just in droves into Germany, and because of this influx, and that the German authorities were couldn't properly screen these people. Just basically point out like say oh so and so has a criminal record. Yeah, we're gonna send you back to where you came from. Bye bye type of thing. But because of the influx of migrants, they couldn't properly be screened. And as a result of this, most of the crimes that have been committed in Germany were by migrants. And you would think Angela Merkel would have a set of brains to figure out a solution to this problem, so she doesn't anger her fellow Germans and that and such as me, for example, and that. But I have nothing against Angela Merkel. She's done. To some people, she hasn't done a good job, but to me, I don't really have an honest opinion in that. But and that type of thing, like what I mean. But now I'm gonna read this article. Um, as more than 1 million migrants arrive in Germany in the last year, new data reveals 138,000 Germans left in 2015. More than 1.5 million Germans have left the country in the last decade, many of them highly educated. Academics and students are among the Germans deciding to move, leaving living holes in the local economy. The number of migrants in Germany is set to continue, according to officials. Frank Jorgen Wies, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, head of the country's migrant office, BAFM, preceded that at least 300,000 more migrants will arrive in Germany in 2016. As the migrant crisis engulfs the EU, German Chancellor Mrs. Merkel has seen her personality plunge to a record low. Demonstrations have been held against her as far right or as the right-wing alternative for Deutschland Party made significant gains in the Berlin elections. Under the under fire chancellor joined forces with her European counterparts to set up their efforts to curb the illegal migration from African countries with the aiming of replacing their successes in halting the inflows from Turkey over the past year. While migrants reaching Greece from Turkey have dropped to a trickle after a deal with Anna Korea. Sorry for the mispronunciation if I pronounced that wrong. In March, arrivals in Italy from Africa are increasing so far this year. To curb the flow along the so-called Central Mediterranean route, where thousands of migrants drawn every year as they make the dangerous journey. the EU is offering trade deals and investment to African countries. Mrs. Merkel said, "It is not just about money. It is not just about sustainability, improving the capabilities and the chances of people in these African countries, and to give hope." Um, Her comments come as they migrate, immigrate more than 17,000 refugees have successfully sued the German government for granting them only partly asylum status. The backlash has continued not only with German nationalists leaving, but foreign nationalists too, who have left Germany have lived in Germany for decades, calling for Mrs. Merkel to deport migrants who have arrived in the last 2 years, saying the crisis has wrecked their standard of living. Uh, so yeah, that's just an article. Like now you really get really the general point of what I was talking about in that article. Like like I said before, I have nothing against refugees, migrants, slash migrants, that are coming that it's like I said, it's basically for financial reasons and they want a better life for not only them and their families, but you know there does come a certain point where this illegal migration really needs to be literally just stopped right in its tracks. And yeah, like it just like you know what I mean. You know, what else? Oh, um, here's another article. This is from CTV News Winnipeg. It's titled "RCMP on scene by Red River in East Selkirk." Pardon me. For the second day, Manitoba RCMP officers are stationed at a scene by the Red River in East Selkirk. On Saturday, a reporter with the Selkirk Record captured a photo of an officer carrying a cardboard box and the officer wearing thin purple gloves. The RCMP have been on scene at the end of the CIL road near the Manitoba Hydro Plant since 1:30 p.m. Saturday. Police tape surrounds the trees and an RCMP van in another vehicle. And that the RCMP told CTV News their activity is part of an ongoing investigation. And that. So, and that's just one other article. What else? Was it? And here's another article. This is from CBC News. This article is titled "Veterans Allowed Too Much Pride," says an ex-NDP MP. Former NDP MP Peter Storfer, sorry for the mispronunciation, agrees that medical cannabis can have its benefits for veterans, but says he is worried about the amount of cannabis former soldiers are allowed under the Veteran Affairs Canada rules. And at what else? And again, like I really have no honest opinion on that, matter type of thing. Like you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And here's some NHL score. The NHL scores. from yesterday, and here are the following winners: Montreal, Detroit, Detroit, um, the Florida, Philadelphia, Nashville, St. Louis, Chicago, New Jersey, New York Rangers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Columbus Blue Jackets, and to cap that off, the LA Kings. And those are your winners in that from yesterday's NHL games. Now today, um, for you people that are on YouTube, you probably don't know this already, but the Heritage Classic is taking place today at Investors Group Field right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. For you people that are on YouTube that are from other countries and that other than Canada in particular, in the Heritage Classic, it'll be the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Edmonton Oilers, who are my two favorite NHL teams. And then the other games today will be the New York Rangers taking on the Phoenix Coyotes. And then the Minnesota Wild taking on the New York Islanders. And then the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Anaheim Ducks. I think, it's a really stupid name for Anaheim. It should have just stayed, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. It just sounds more, better than the Ducks. Catch what I'm saying, type of thing. Sorry for that, folks. What else? Just hold on 2 seconds while this loads. Okay. Here is another news article. This is from CTV News Winnipeg. Is titled "Charges Pending After Stabbing Incident on Lumsden Avenue." Winnipeg police were called to a residence on Lumsden Avenue. Officers responded to a call about a stabbing at around 9 a.m. Police tape could be seen outside the residence in the 100 block of Lumsden Avenue. And sorry if I pronounced the street wrong in any way, shape, or form. Officers arriving found a man with injuries consistent with the stabbing. He is in stable condition. Charges are pending, police say. Police say the incident is likely domestic related. It is likely they won't be releasing more information. Neighbors told CTV News that police are frequently called to the residence, and that, and this is just a prime example of the craziness and that stuff going on. You know what I mean, type of thing. What else? Before I go on to another news-related topic, or sports-related topic, I want to take this opportunity to say, I try to make YouTube videos as often as I can for my channel, Stuart Dahl Show, but right now it's fall winter months, so it's kind of hard for me to do that, because I have all my sports going on, like swimming, bowling, curling, and then I coach with the wrestling team at Grand Park, so I'm always busy in that. But I try to make videos from my YouTube channel, the Stuart Dahl Show, as often as I can, and I try to find the time to do that. So I will try my best to make videos as often as I can for my YouTube channel, but just bear with me, if I don't make them as often as I can, because I'm busy at around this time of the year, type of thing. Oh, what else? Just hold on a second. This loads. Oh, here's another news-related article. This is also from CTV News Winnipeg. It's titled "One Person Hospitalized After Crash Near Oakbank." At least one person is in hospital after single vehicle crash near Oakbank Friday night. RCP said the car crashed at around 9:45 p.m. after hitting an embankment on Springfield Road, about 1.5 kilometers east of Oakbank. 3 people were in the car and one person was injured. Star's air ambulance was dispatched and wasn't needed. And so yeah, that's one other subject. What else? As you all know, what was I going to say now? WWE Hell in a Cell will be taking place at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, and it will be the 8th event under the Hell in a Cell chronology. And sorry for the mispronunciation ahead of time. And here are the matches that will be taking place at WWE Hell in a Cell, which is a Raw brand pay-per-view. People that don't know that. Anyways, here are the following matches. For the United States, there's 3 Hell in a Cell matches. The first one is for the WWE United States Championship. It will be the reigning defending champion Roman Reigns taking on his challenger, the Bulgarian Brute Rusev. And then the other Hell in a Cell match will be for the WWE Universal Championship. It'll be the current reigning defending champion Kevin Owens taking on Seth Rollins, and these two have just had total bad blood, and that going on, you know what I mean, type of thing. And then for the first time, and I'm gonna reiterate this, for the first time in WWE history, the WWE Women's Championship will be contested in the confines of Hell in a Cell. It'll be Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, which Sasha Banks currently holds. And then the other one will be for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. It'll be the reigning defending champion T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick, who was in WWE, I think a number of years ago, until Brian Kendrick competed in the inaugural WWE Cruiserweight Classic. And then the other one will be for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. It'll be the reigning defending champions, The New Day, of Biggie Langston, Kofi Kingston, and or Xavier Woods versus Cesaro and Sheamus, who are probably the two most physical, hard hitting, smash mouth in your face type of people, probably on Monday Night Raw, and maybe in WWE in general. What else? Other than that, I'm gonna also take this opportunity to basically to say thank you to those who have served my home country of Germany during World War I, World War II. What I mean by World War II, I don't mean the people that were part of the Nazi Party United. I mean people that were German soldiers that were not a part of the Nazi Party, but unfortunately they were drilled with with the ideology and stuff. But yeah, I just want to thank those that served my home country of Germany during World War I, World War II. and in the various combat missions, since the end of World War II, such as in Afghanistan and that, and all the other various combat missions that Germany has been a part of, since the end of World War II. But also, yeah, I just, I really appreciate, what, those German troops that have, done to protect, to protect the freedom, the peace, freedom, and security of the Federal Republic of Germany, and that. But now I'm just gonna end my show on this note. This has been another edition of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show. For you young people, just stay in school, stay out of trouble, and and you'll do fine in that. And until my next episode of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show, I'll be the same. Bye bye, and just try to stay cool, very friends, and bye bye for now.